Well, hello there and welcome to Travels with Geordie. If this is your first visit, my name is Peter Knowles and I live on this classic wooden motor cruiser currently here in London on the Sunshine Coast in British Columbia, along with the loving memory of my pup Geordie, all the while fixing it up for some pretty ambitious cruising. If that's the sort of thing that you might find interesting, please consider sticking around and subscribing. I'd love to have you. Well, this week I head north from Vancouver up the Sunshine Coast up towards Desolation, and I reconnect with Lloyd up here to do a week's worth of cruising and working on the boat. It's really been a super week. It all ends with Lloyd heading off on his van life across Canada, and another special guest comes to join me. As always, I'd like to send out a big thank you to my Patreon and PayPal supporters, because as you know, it's you that keeps the show going. All right, let's go back in time. Well, folks, it's 5:30 in the morning and time to head off up the coast. There seems to be a reasonable break in the weather, not entirely without wind, but I think I can make a run for it. Gonna do it in two legs, up to Smuggler, where we've been recently, and then up to Lund the second day. All right, let's go. Well, good morning and welcome back to my favorite Smuggler Cove. It's just about 5:15 in the morning and I'm gonna slip my lines here in a few minutes as soon as there's enough light that I can safely navigate my way out of here. And about 7 hours up to Lund. It's a pretty quick trip getting up there, but it's nice to be able to catch up a little. All right, let's go. Those mountains, but it's a pretty good view. So this feels good after last year. We didn't get up here.
The weather down in Lund. Lund was nice, but not for a week.
Exactly. For those of you who've been following along, last year Lloyd and I came up in our own boats and we got stuck in Lund, which is where I just picked him up, and we didn't get to come any further. So this is a real treat. So we're going to be aboard for a week and we're going to do all the best spots up here.
Best spots.
It's fantastic. I'm super pleased because he just did the provisioning and let's get some good stuff. All right, let's go see what we can find. Well, good morning from beautiful Tenedos Bay in Desolation Sound. Stopped in here overnight. Absolutely glorious, glorious spot. And it was fun because we got to meet up with some very good friends aboard Pinot from the marina in Victoria. Anyway, fabulous morning. Not even sure what we're doing yet, but it's gonna be great. Talk to you later. then, well, we're at Tinker and Arm. This is gonna be tough. So there's nothing much here to grab, and it's very, very deep. Perhaps I'll show you on the chart. So I just dropped the anchor out there in about 100 feet of water, and I have about 280 feet of chain out. I've set it at about 1200 RPM, and it's set good and hard. So now I gotta go up there and find something to tie a rope to. Okay, well, a great team pulled it off. I have to say, anchoring in Tinker and Arm is not for the faint of heart. If you can see that rock, it just goes straight down, and well, very much like those rocks, is largely straight down and very, very, very deep in here. I've anchored in here before, and it took several times to get the anchor to set, but I never had 300 feet of chain before, so that's worked out really, really well. And I was able to scramble up to a sizable tree, and I think we're in really good shape. So what, beverage first or walk to the falls first? We're going to both. All right then, well, no visit to Tinker and Arms is complete without a visit to Castle Falls, which is pretty cool. Now, there's always someone that anchors right in against the falls. We've settled in quite nicely. Well, good morning from Tinker and Arm. Had a really, really great evening in here. Magical spot. I think, as we mentioned, it's quite difficult to anchor because it's very, very deep and it's rock. But that spade bit really hard with about 260, 280 feet of chain. It was great. It's way out there somewhere. So I think we ran you up into the falls, the Castle Falls, which drain Castle Lake back down into here. Next time we're in here, we'll have to take a walk up. There's a path that goes up from that dinghy dock right there, up across to the other lake. Good freshwater swimming. Anyway, we're a bit short for time this morning because we're going to run around the top, and we're on our way to Walsh Cove, my very, very favorite spot in Desolation Sound. Let's go. And good morning from my favorite spot, as I've said so many times, Walsh Cove in Desolation Sound. I just love it. We actually were very fortunate to get a really sweet spot in here yesterday, and happily it was high tide right at golden hour, so we were able to take a really nice dinghy ride in through all the islands here, which you've all seen so many times, but it is a lovely spot. All right, heading back south today. We're going to go down to Preto Haven, pretty much the benchmark, standard, popular destination. But on the way, I'm going to let Lloyd drive, and I'm going to carry on doing some work on the helm. It's going to be really neat. I don't think I've ever done carpentry work underway before. I've never had anyone to drive. All right, let's go. All right, this is going to be a heck of a lot of fun with Lloyd at the helm, and a very, very calm day. In fact, the wind is behind us, so there's almost no wind. So hopefully there'll be no wind noise in this recording. I can enjoy the entire hour and a half, hour and 3/4 cruise down Waddington Channel to Preto Haven to carry on up here. And this is actually such a great experience. Anyway, last time we spoke, I was about to trim the top off of this, but due to unexpected circumstances, I wasn't able to do it. So this is where we're picking off now, and I'll get that trimmed. There's a bunch of little things I want to get done up here. I'm going to sand and fill all the holes that are up here so that that can sit in there properly. If I'm lucky, I might get to doing some rotering. Anyway, you'll see. Let's get going. Okay, so next is describe the correct cut for the bottom edge of this. And as I may have mentioned, this is going to sit up on an 1.5-inch curb here for a couple of reasons. It'll become a base for the new non-stainless steel stanchions. Not quite sure what it's going to be yet, but it also keeps things from rolling off the deck. Pencils, things like that. So I'm going to use this to scribe against. Now, unfortunately, this has an eased edge because it's cheap construction wood, but I think I can probably nail it close enough. So with the offset of the pencil, we're going to be darn close to there. Oh yeah! Right on the money. What did I forget, folks? I forgot to remove the screw! Here's some interesting destructive testing. Never mind the cute screw right there. Okay, so this is mahogany in this direction, and this is 3 laminations of mahogany epoxy in that direction. What's gonna give? If I can break it at all. I can't break it. Hang on a second. Holy! The laminations popped off at the epoxy. Oh my gosh, that was, and it actually broke most of it. Pretty cool. Well, with the windshield off for a bit, let's take a moment to tidy this all up a little bit. There'll be some sanding, some filling of these holes, and some just removing various goops of time gone past. There we go. And then when the holes are, just a little clean out with a rotary rasp. I've just spent 10 minutes thinking about laying out the actual curves and the shape of the glass, the actual window for this, because I think, as you all know, it's not going to be this shape. It's going to have some nice curves, and this will have a gentle curve. But we're only about half an hour from dropping the anchor in Prito Haven, and I really want to take my time with this. So I'm going to clean up and say that was a very successful working cruise. And so here we are in Prito Haven, traditionally absolutely packed with boats this time of year, but remarkably sparse. And I was able to get down at my favorite end of the bay, which is the westernmost, southwesternmost. I got the very last chain down here, which means we'll have no neighbors on this side. And oh, it's really not that bad. This is generally one of the most popular locations in Desolation Sound, and sometimes it's really crowded. And I was very pleasantly surprised to see that we had lots of room in here last night. And of course, just as calm can be, as it always seems to be in here. All right then, well, off again today. We're going back to Lund, and on the way, Lloyd has again agreed to drive, so I'll be able to do a little more work on the forward helm. actually think that is a very, very nice curve. But I won't know until I put it on the outside and I stand back from the boat and I get a real look of it. There. Oh yeah! Hello there and welcome to the Travels with Geordie Beer of the Week, coming to you this week from Lund Harbor, way up the Sunshine Coast. Is this still the Sunshine Coast?
It is the northern.
It's the very northern tip of the Sunshine Coast.
This is the Baja of the
Well, it is
Coast.
this week. My gosh, it's hot.
Baja.
Exactly.
Basically Baja.
Let me do an introduction so we can do beer, so we can drink beer because it's hot. Look who's back! Came back up to visit. Lady Zephyrus is back up. And one great benefit of knowing Lady Zephyrus is that I got introduced to Hugh and Christine, residents of Lund here and owners and operators of Terracentric adventure tourism, kayaking, Zodiac, all kinds of. If you want to have fun in the sun, in the water, you're the guys,
In
right?
Baja. Yeah.
Basically Baja.
You're wearing my shirt.
Yeah,
Basically
do I-
Baja.
And I'm wearing his shirt.
How did that happen?
How did that work out?
Do you want to trade shirts?
Exactly.
Okay, here we go.
Some of you may remember, Hugh, about a year ago we talked about your wooden junk that, we should talk about again sometime soon.
Come for a visit, Peter. while you're
Exactly,
here.
we'll advance it. Can we jump straight to the beer? Because I'd love it.
Yeah, let's just try that beer.
Okay, it's hot, it's so hot here. Okay, this is from Russell Brewing you said it's in Surrey, did you?
Yes, I did.
And it's the Angry Scotch Ale from Russell. And as usual, I have it just because I just grabbed it in the liquor store and it looked sort
Does
of
it
okay.
turn you into an angry Scotsman?
Well, that's not hard with me in this particular weather. Okay, we're gonna pour a little. Oh, it's quite.
But does he have bagpipes?
I do have bagpipes. I don't think I've played them on the show yet.
Ah,
It's amazing how many people
We usually
don't
have bagpipes
like
here.
bagpipes.
Thank you very much.
bring
We
back
could
the
use a little
bagpipes.
bagpipe session.
Could we?
I suppose we could.
Let's
Holy
ask
mackerel!
ourselves carefully.
There you go.
Thank you,
Do
sir.
with that
That's a
what
good
you
pour.
will.
You certainly know I will.
Oh, it's been really great to be back in Lund after a little bit of a cruise around Desolation, and reconnecting with old friends has been really, really good. You might have got ripped off. I might be able to top you up again there a little
Might
bit.
be able to help you
okay,
out.
we-
later.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even sure how well. I could give you a little more probably.
Probably.
We're doing all right,
I
Peter.
think
Come
I'm
on,
gonna
folks.
be
I
all
haven't
right.
poured this too badly, considering.
Yeah,
you're
There you
doing
go.
all right.
Here.
All right.
I can fix you
Nice.
up. All right then. Well,
Don't pour it all over.
two old friends.
Oh, good.
Two old friends. Nice,
Cheers.
nice to have you here.
Cheers. Angry Scotch Ale.
Pleasure to be here.
It's angry. It's scotchy.
Very scotchy.
It's
Just
scotchy.
scotchy.
Exactly. All right.
Tastes like a Scotsman. I mean, tastes like Scotch ale.
It's actually not bad at all. Anyway, I have to do a little.
Yeah.
I have to do a little administration stuff.
Yeah, let's get to it.
We have to give away a T-shirt, totally at random, to last week's totally at random pick, and that goes to Motor Vessel Charisma. Motor Vessel Charisma. Get a hold of me. Shoot me an email at swag@travelswithgeordie.com, and I'll make sure you get your shirt. Cheers to Motor Vessel Charisma.
Charisma.
I am pronouncing that correctly, right? It is Charisma.
It's charisma.
Charisma.
Also, I would very much like to
No,
welcome
it's not.
a new Patreon aboard, ADG Cato. I hope I pronounced that correctly, and I'm fairly sure I did. Thanks for coming aboard. So glad to have you.
No disrespect to charisma. Sorry.
I knew you didn't mean any.
Kato.
Awesome. Well, it's so great to have you here.
So good to be here, you guys. Nice to have you here.
and have you aboard and spend a little time in London and catch up on stuff. All right then. So all we need now really is a word of the week. Yes, indeed, we do. And maybe I could put you on the spot for a word of the week. Could I?
Sure. Well, what do we go with the fact that here, Peter, we're in the harbor of Claaman, as named by the area's first inhabitants thousands of years ago.
Okay.
And we're also in the area of the Sailor Sea, where the tides wrap around Vancouver Island from the north and the south, and they meet in this area. So, why don't we go with the word connection? Seems
Connection. Connection. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right then.
Connection.
Meeting
Connection.
in this
To
area.
connections.
To connection and connections. All right then,
Cheers.
folks. You know what to do with it. If you'd like to win a Travels with Geordie T-shirt, simply use the word connection or connections in a comment down below, and I'll pick at random over the next week or so where the comments. If I pick you, you'll have won a Travels with Geordie T-shirt. That's all I have to say.
Just like this.
Just like that, or slightly different.
Or,
if you like.
or maybe slightly
Let's
different.
choose again.
Probably a lot less stinky than this one.